sure what that was about. Moving on briskly anyway. We've got, make absolutely positive it is restarting here. Yeah, well, it should be. I have got absolutely no idea what's going on with that. The Sand King pickup, what are your thoughts there? I think that looks a little bit support heavy for Rox.Kis.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not sure how they're going to run their lanes. Who are you going to farm in that situation?
I mean, I'm expecting it's going to be Sand King mid in anticipation of a Clockwork mid, and then it will be Shadow Demon and Jakiro supporting in the safe lane, but they don't have to put Clockwork mid. I don't think they're going to.
Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, Cloud9 kept their cards very, very close, and Rox.Kis draft is kind of confusing me, to be completely honest. I mean, you have the Shadow Demon, the Jakiro, and the Sand King, so these are very good supports here, but you kind of don't have a real mid-hero at the moment.
Yeah, and there's a Tinker. I mean, that's, to be honest, kind of what I was expecting. That'll be Tinker mid. That gives them incredible push, tied up with Luna, with Warlock, Clockwork, with Treant. They all work very well in that strategy. Creates a lot of space for the Luna to farm up and then be a total monster late game. And what are Rox.Kis going to do? Farm the Sand King?
Yeah, I mean, and how can you farm a Sand King against a Tinker? I mean, in terms of just the range, not only in terms of melee and ranged heroes, but the ganking ability of Tinker is much higher than Sand King. I mean, he will level up, he will get his ult very quickly, he will get the epicenter. Having said that, I don't think it will be as effective as a Tinker mid, and once Tinker gets his boosted travels, as you mentioned, he'll knock these towers down very, very quickly.
I'm thinking we've missed something here. I'm thinking this might be a 6.81, making Shadow Fiend a legitimate mid. Sorry, Shadow Demon a legitimate mid, something like that. I know his ult got buffed recently. Not one of the heroes that I'm most up to date with in terms of the 6.81 patches, but I'm thinking it might be Shadow Demon mid facing off against the Tinker with Jakiro and Sand King running the supports, probably supporting the Centaur, getting the Stampede up early, and Centaur certainly has been quite a beast recently. And then Nature's Prophet taking the off lane?
Yeah, I mean, that could work as well. I mean, as you mentioned, the Centaur, once he gets his farm, once he gets the strength item on him, he becomes incredibly hard to burst down and to kill. So he will be something to be reckoned with. Having said that, we kind of need to wait to as well, because as you mentioned, I mean, I think Rox.Kis at the moment are a bit kind of support heavy, and they have good potential for team fight, but so does Cloud9.
Absolutely, yeah. We are going to get a little bit of audio lag, by the way, just as people pick their heroes. Let's see if there's any big surprises coming out here. Doesn't look like it. We've got Eternal Envy picking up the Luna. In fact, no, we'll save all that for when we're doing the introductions now, I suppose, or in a minute. But doesn't look like there are any big surprises coming up on the arrangements. But yeah, let's wait until they're all kind of out and about before we do that. And in the meantime, let's have a fashion show. Let's have a look at Eternal Envy's Luna. Wow, I really like that mount. We had a trade recently, didn't we, where we were trading Luna mounts and there was some confusion, and I ended up coming off a little bit ahead. I think neither of us have a Luna mount that nice.
No, I think, and this one also has a kinetic gem on it. So I haven't seen that one before.
It's true.
So that should be interesting.
I'll keep my eye out on that one, yeah. And it's just the full Lucent Rider set. That is really, really nice. Pylai joins into the game, so hopefully we'll be unpaused very, very shortly. Rox.Kis calling for the go. There was an awful lot of waiting around in lobbies to get this game running, guys. An awful lot of it. That's why we're starting a fair deal late. Having a quick look at Seedoy's Nature's Prophet as well. That's quite a nice set. Well, not actually a set, but quite a nice kind of whack it all together.
He has the Evergreen Stalker, which is inscribed.
Only 286 assists with that. I'm assuming that means he got it fairly recently. But yeah, really just twiddling our thumbs, waiting for this game to start.
You also look, since we're waiting and you mentioned looking at the items, Nature's Prophet also has a very unique staff with a lot of kills and victories, and it's been renamed. If anyone can tell us what that name is, that would be great.
Well, that's the Scythe of Vice.
Yeah, but he renamed it.
Oh right, yeah, well, oh god, yeah. Anybody in the comments, please let us know. Alright, so I'll introduce Rox.Kis then, going from left to right. Starting off on the Centaur, let's get into position here. We have 633 running up on the Centaur Warrunner. We're going to have to be quick here as they are smoke ganking up mid. We've got Solo running out on the Jakiro. On the Sand King we have Yol. On the Nature's Prophet we have Sidoi. And on the Shadow Demon we have Goblak. Now, do you want to quickly run through C9? In fact, no, just hold on a sec. We'll introduce C9 in a moment. We're just getting ready for some action here. Sing Sing spots out the smoke. I don't think they're close enough to close with him. I think that smoke might have been, unfortunately, a little bit over-energetic there. They're going to keep Goblak and 633 up there, standing on the high ground. No, they're not. They're backing out. I thought that might be an attempt to gank on mid, but it would have been a little bit obvious. And I think this might give us just enough space for you to introduce Cloud9.
Yes, I'll do that very quickly as well. We have Piladai on the Treant, we have Tiger, who's Eternal Envy on the Luna, Sing Sing on the Tinker, Ari 2000 on the Warlock, and B17 on the Clockworks.
And they're all looking very, very serious about this. I'm quite excited about the fact that we are actually going to have a Clockwork set out soon. Some contesting of the top rune there. Disruption comes out onto Treant, being played by Piladai, and it's either going to be... Okay, they are doing some very interesting lanes here. It looks like it's Centaur and Shadow Demon mid. They're running duels. Down bottom, we're going to have Jakiro supporting Sand King, I imagine, and then up top, we've got the Nature's Prophet. So, Rox.Kis were up to something. This isn't pure insanity that we're seeing here.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be interesting. The Shadow Demon will try to phase out Sing Sing on the Tinker here to kind of guarantee the Centaur's farm. Having said that, that means he won't be gaining as many levels as Sing Sing in the early stages of the game.
Yeah, very true. And I mean, Tinker is someone who you do want to keep down on levels, and also with March of the Machines, I'm really not sure how effective it's going to be running a dual mid against this Tinker. I mean, they're both going to be taking huge harass, and it's not like Sing Sing really has to expose himself or put himself in any danger to do it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is you can, if you line it up correctly, you can line up a Disruption into a Hoof Stomp.
Yeah, very true. I just mean you can stay very far back casting March of the Machines. We're also seeing Luna on an aggressive try, which isn't something I've seen a huge amount of ever, really. But there we go, Disruption into Stomp, I would imagine.
Yes, it was a Disruption into Stomp, and then followed by a double edge, basically, that guaranteed the kill on Sing Sing.
Let me just make sure I got the overlay sorted out. No, I don't. Apologies for that. There we go. And I mean, that's kind of going to hurt the Tinker a little bit mid. I have to say, that's kind of going to hurt. Looks like he's...
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Yeah?
He's very aware of coming close because, I mean, we just saw what just happened. Also, it's going to delay his bottle by a while, which is not something that you want to be delayed, especially on a Tinker.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the key thing, isn't it? I was noticing he did go straight for Bottle Rush. He picked up a salve, he picked up some GG branches, and got pulled a tango. He has literally nothing to his name right now, and he really needs those last hits.
Not on my watch.
Centaur actually evening out with the Luna, which I guess kind of makes sense, as Centaur is roughly the equivalent of a Rox.Kis safe lane hard carry, and Luna is kind of the equivalent for C9, even though neither of them are in the safe lane, and neither of them are really,
I mean,
really
I was really surprised by the laning that they have, both Rox.Kis and Cloud9. I did not expect the laning that they have at the moment.
I mean, this solo Clockwork safe lane I could kind of understand if you were really trying to make space for an aggressive try, but I wouldn't put Luna on that aggressive try, and I'd make it a try. I mean, can't really complain though. Treant stacking the Ancients, that will be very, very useful for Luna in a little bit of time. Can't wait for that. Meanwhile, I mean, how well do you think this Clockwork is going to run against the Nature's Prophet? You've got the ranged versus melee disadvantage. You've got the Treants, which can be used for harass.
Having said that, I mean, he's one level ahead of the Nature's Prophet at the moment. I think he'll be able to farm quite fairly well. He has his boots, he has his poor man's shield to get away from these sticky situations, basically. Now that he doesn't have support in lane, he might get phased out slightly. But I think so far he's doing very well on farm. He's about even with Nature's Prophet, which is not something that you'd expect from a lane like that.
I mean, it's very true, but I mean, if you look at it, he's got absolutely 0 regen left. You know, I didn't actually see what he started off with. I assume a set of tangos at the very least. That's now all gone. Moving down to the top rune, and he's actually running very, very close to Goblak and 633 there. I think they were mid-cast animation for Disruption, which would have been an almost certain kill, but did not quite make it.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a smoke rotation coming from the Treant as well. He's trying to scout out the Sand King to see where he is. Maybe steal some of his CS.
I think he's just wanting to sit in there, yeah, steal a bit of CS, maybe steal a little bit of XP. He's got the invis. Oh, actually no, he doesn't have the invis. But he has been spotted out. There's a disruption. They're going to be looking for a stomp. There it is. Double Edge will finish this off any time, but they don't even need it. Just a simple right click. Warlock coming in there, throwing down the slow, but it's not going to be enough against that disruption stomp combo.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And Tinker's actually been forced into farming the hard camps in the jungle. You know, he knows he needs
there might be
bottle.
A kill on Jakira at the moment.
Oh, and Luna securing it with a nice Lucent Beam. This is one of those games. It's not traditional, it's annoying. You never know what's going to happen next. Maxim going on mid, but I think it's just Sing Sing mounting a fairly effective defense here. Last hit, Nature's Prophet overtaking both of the two supposedly heavy carries. I mean, yeah, without that regen in lane, I really see Bone 7 struggling. He has had to go all the way back to base, heal up, and moving out now. Nature's Prophet finishing off Warlock. Nice TP in, and now we've got Eternal Envy on the run, being chased down by a creep. Not going to be enough, but it does look like a nice push coming out here from Rox.Kis on this bot tier 1.
Structures have been fortified.
Yeah, I mean, the great thing about their lineup and running the Centaur and the Shadow Demon mid, what they're trying to do is create a lot of pressure on the Tinker, a lot of pressure on the towers, because that's one thing that teams normally guarantee when picking up something like a Tinker, which is we're going to have the early towers, which means our farm carry can sit back and farm comfortably, while Rox.Kis are putting a lot of pressure on the tier 1s as much as they can to kind of counter that push.
Absolutely,
Radiant
yeah.
structures have been fortified.
I mean, that I'm liking this actually. It's an unusual strategy coming out from Rox.Kis. Of course, Cloud9 very recently did get invited to TI4. They're going to be very, very happy about that. Rox.Kis did not. They're going to have to fight their way through the qualifiers. So if we see a Rox.Kis victory here, I'm thinking that's going to be a bit of a statement for them. You know, just because we don't get invited, don't count us out.
Yeah, and they're a great team. They have great abilities as well, and they are a competitor. So hopefully we will see them at TI4.
They've really got to get this tower. I think they all thought that somebody else was going to be prioritizing the last hit there. Almost didn't get it down in response. Warlock gets taken out down bottom. Pylai die. Now looking to defend this tower, but with 3 of the Rox.Kis heroes down here, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what we're seeing. It's as I mentioned, it's the early towers game at the moment, where each team is trying to secure as much space as possible to be able to farm and put pressure on the other team.
I think the other thing to watch out for in this game is going to be the Sing Sing on the Tinker. He's sacrificed a bottle, gone for a soul ring. He's definitely going to kind of budget build here, and I think his next item is just going to be going straight into Boots of Travels, which he should get without too much problems with if Bone 7's stacking this camp for him. But that's certainly not the start you want on a Tinker. It's going to be very interesting to see how he tries to come back from this.
Indeed, and we're seeing like the continuous stacking that's happening on the Ancients at the moment. I wonder if Rox.Kis will notice that, will try to contest that, or maybe just ward it to kind of stop it from happening.
It's certainly going to be very, very juicy for whichever one of the Cloud9 carries picks that up. And you know, if it's Luna, then that turns it around. Luna, who gets fed early, is probably more of an advantage in a game like this, I would say, than a few early kills. And they're still stacking it. Here we go. Yeah, Tinker's coming in now. Going to be constant march of the machines here. He's getting so much gold. And they actually smoked up. I think they might want to go here. Yep, there we go. Hook shot in. Hits on the Jakiro. Cogs comes out. Battery assault. And this is definitely going to be a dead Jakiro. Can't even land Ice Path because of the battery assault mini stun. Beautiful play.
Yeah, as we mentioned, the animation for Jakiro tend to be quite hard to land, and yeah, with the battery assault, he just wasn't
literally
able to land
impossible.
anything.
Yeah. What you gonna do, eh? Goblek now, sorry, not Goblek. Pylite Eye trying to pick up some last hits mid. In the end, going to get blinked on, stomped, and double edged by a beautiful play there from 633. Does get stunned, does get flared. It's not going to be enough to finish him off. This is the kind of time when you pray for his use, and he's just going to bottle up. I really like this way of playing Centaur actually. It seems a lot more active. I like him mid when you can find a way to run him.
Yeah, I mean that's the reason that they were able to run him, is the fact that they had a dual lane mid with the Shadow Demon stacking the camps and trying to come in for a ganks on the Tinker. That helped him secure the early blink, the early tranquils, and now it's gonna start becoming more and more difficult to kill him.
Yeah, Rosh is up. I very much doubt seeing things going down there. No, he's not. Looks like the action is going to be heating up at mid as Centaur 633 does manage to pick up a haste rune. Now he does have a bottle. I mean, you've already got Stampede. You had haste on top of that. That's a huge amount of distance covered very, very quickly. Picks up a smoke. You think this is part of the whole plan? Get that haste rune, get the smoke.
Yeah, I mean his initiating power now just tripled with the blink dagger, with the ult, and with the haste rune as well.
Bone 7 just missing a very, very well, it was very, very close. Just missing the hook shot there would have been a dead nature's prophet, I think, since of course TP is also something that battery assault would find very easy to cancel. Luna actually looking like she's going to get some free fun mid. All that tension, all that palaver, all that fapping around, and they're just going to back out. Aoi 2000, yeah, getting out of the way of the ancient camp there. I was going to say he could go for a stack, but it actually hasn't respawned since Tinker ate them all. Just popping up now.
Yeah, I mean Tinker is less than 100 away from his boosted travel at the moment, so he'll be able to start split pushing. We see that the Sand King has already picked up his blink dagger because of the stacked camps. So I wonder whether they're going to initiate at towers, whether they're going to try to defend towers, or whether they'll let them go.
Yeah, and we get a nice initiation on Aoi 2000 here. Is Sidoi going to have enough damage though? He is when the Centaur blinks in. There's going to be a double edge as well. Coming out on the... Oh, nice! Cogs actually end up pushing Centaur out of range. He's going to go down in a combination of the aura, a laser coming out from Sing Sing, and Warlock for Centaur. That actually got turned around very, very quickly, and it was all about those Cogs. I mean, that was just absolutely beautiful.
Dire's top tower is under.
Yeah, he locked him in a very, very tight spot, and the Centaur didn't have any mana to do anything really. And then plus that with the Warlock summoned as well.
It was a beautiful job. It was a beautiful job. And honestly, I really think they could have killed Bone 7 there. It would not have been hard to take out that clockwork. I think they were just trying to leave it for the Centaur. The Centaur wasn't sure whether he wanted to use double edge. And they ended up just not getting that hit, and then that Cogs came in at just the wrong moment. And double edge has a much longer range than just melee as well. So I think it almost still would have been possible right up until the very last second. Aoi 2000 now looking to get a bit of farm up on mid. What's your next item on Warlock after Tranquils? Tranquils? Why on earth is this Warlock on Tranquils? I would have thought Mana Boot to be the way to go.
Well, I think the regen is something that, yeah, I would have gotten Mana Boots rather than Tranquils, but the regen is something necessary, especially when you're running against this huge lineup who has these abilities like the double edge, the Jakiro on his liquid fire as well. So it might have been a smart purchase from Aoi 2000.
Well, fingers crossed. I'm hoping that he certainly doesn't seem to be struggling for mana. People at this level of competition seem to be much better at just managing it and not running out of it.
Yeah, and Pylite also has the mana beat, so I guess that helps secure mana for the whole team.
Luna now looking to get a bit of farm up on these ancients as she's passing through. Pylite and Aoi 2000 helping out a little bit there. Does kind of look though like Rox.Kis want to jump on this Tinker in the mid. They've got 2 Blink Daggers up on the team now, so it's just a question of when he's out of position by just enough. Playing very, very cautiously now. And we've actually got Yol and 633 rotating through the dire jungle, kind of looking for a pick-off, but there's nobody here. They're just going to have to turn this into a tower push.
We might see a trade of towers here.
Both teams are being so cautious. They want to believe that there's someone there for them to kill. And Sing Sing TP's into top. That might be a big problem for him. 633 wants to jump in. Are they going to dive him? They have to, surely. This would have been the perfect... Oh, they might just want to get the tower down instead, I suppose. Not get engaged in it. But I really think they had a chance there to kill Sing Sing, and I'm surprised they didn't take it. They had the 2 Blink Daggers very close. Nature's Prophet within shouting distance. They're not even going to take the top tower. In the meantime, down on bot lane, that tower's going to go down. Warlock being picked off in mid. Looks like, no, I'm totally wrong. Warlock doing very, very well in mid, but Yol now popping Epicenter, chasing after the Eternal Envy. Going to be finished off by a nice bit of right-clicking in combination with a Lucent Beam. Centaur comes in, does a double edge, not quite enough damage, and the first eclipse of the game, I think. And now Cloud9 are looking like they might be in charge. Woo, all over the map there. That was craziness.
Yeah, I mean they rotated very, very nicely from the bottom tower to defend mid. They managed to grab the kills on everyone except the Nature's Prophet. This couldn't have gone any better towards C9.
That was beautifully played. Absolutely beautifully played. Now I've got 633 looking to run down into the bot lane, but they just didn't expect that Roshan to go down that quickly, I think. They were not expecting Cloud9 to be able to pull that off.
Yeah, it seems that the flow of the game is going towards Cloud9 at the moment.
And I gotta wonder whether Rox.Kis aren't going to find themselves in, you know, maybe another 10-15 minutes, just really wishing they had a little bit more hard carry on their team.
Yeah, I think if you look at Tiger, Eternal Envy at the moment, he's 4-0, and that's a huge, huge advantage. Plus the Aegis, that's a huge advantage to give to Luna.
Yeah.
16 minutes into the game.
And also, I mean, you've also got Tinker, who's always going to be a presence throughout the entire game, and he's farming very effectively in the jungle now, without taking any of the lane XP from anybody else. Nice hookshot in though from Bone 7. They do manage to land the disruption on the Centaur, which is going to evade most of the battery assault damage. Macro Pyre goes down as well, and actually it's the Clockwork who ends up falling. But now we've got the tree ult. Ice Path comes down. Solo trying to buy himself some space to get out. Not going to be enough as Leech Seed finishes him off. Luna now sprouted. There might be problems. Rox.Kis comes in with a blink stomp, followed up by the Burrow Strike from Sand King, and that's 3 members down on the C9 squad. Eternal Envy gets disrupted after the Aegis respawned. He wants to be coming straight back into it, but I don't think he's going to have a chance to. Wow, that was bloody. That was crazy bloody.
Yeah, and I think I don't know who. I would say Rox.Kis won that team fight. They used the Aegis, they killed the Tinker, they killed the Warlock.
Oh yeah.
And in return, they only lost the Jakiro.
By far, yeah. And I mean, the tree is going to do a fair amount of good healing this tower up, but mid tower almost down now for C9. Having a look at the Rox.Kis one, barely scratched. It's a good place to be.
Yeah, I mean, protecting the mid tower is a necessity, it seems, in this game as well. So we'll see, hopefully, more and more intense team fights towards whether pushing that mid tier 1 or defending it.
Yeah, and it does look like that might be what we're getting in line for now. We've got some Central Illusions backing up Shadow Demon, heading into the mid lane. At the same time, Pylite Eye and Owie 2000 both here ready to defend, and Owie does have his ult up. Oh, but there goes the Centaur. Stampede blinks in, followed up by the Sand King stun. It's actually not going to be enough to kill Bone 7, which I'm kind of surprised about. I just mean during the stun lock. He did come out of stun there for a brief moment. Not enough to get away though. But I'm kind of surprised. If they'd done that initiation on anybody else on the Cloud9 team, they would have been dead before they could move, without a doubt.
Yeah, but I mean, the Clockwork was smart enough to grab a couple Gauntlets of Strength. He has a Phase Boost already. He has a Blade Mail on him as well. So he's getting to be quite tanky at this stage of the game.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I mean, that Blade Mail, I do like it as an item, but I mean, it's just I feel they need to be worrying a little bit more about magic damage this game.
Tower is being attacked.
Jakiro, Rox.Kis are certainly going for the early game lineup. And early game, I think it's magic, which they're going to be scariest with.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, we see a pickup of the cloak on Centaur, and that's going to be changed into a hood and hopefully into a pipe, basically.
Luna running in, does manage to get a Lucent Beam off on Jakiro, followed up by rockets, but I don't think that's going to be enough to create any sort of push. And they've actually managed to fight the Radiant creeps off this tower at kind of just the wrong time, just a little bit more, and it would have been in deny range, which is very unfortunate for them. Looks like Rox.Kis are very aware of this though, and they just want to push in and get this down immediately.
Dire's middle tower is under siege.
Getting a quick liquid fire off there. And then again on the creep wave, followed up by Dual Breath. They really do just want to push this down before the tree gets a chance to heal up all of that health again. Oh, but again, beautiful hookshot in by Bone 7. Solo does manage to get caught out there, followed up by a Lucent Beam, and that's a dead Jakiro. I'm thinking that Highlight Eye might be able to get out of this, but no. Caught out by a Blink Stomp by the Centaur. We've now got Luna. She pops the Eclipse, then gets disrupted, which almost saves the Sand King. But just not quite enough. Tinker then rushes in, takes out the Shadow Demon, and it's now looking like C9 might be the people to push.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Do you reckon the Radiant middle tower is going to survive this? I'm thinking
I
not.
really don't think it can.
Yeah.
I really don't think it can. And there's one thing which I didn't realise, which I'm seeing more and more now, is the amount of heals that's coming out from the Warlock plus the Treant is giving a huge advantage.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They've got massive heals. It's why the Tranquil Boots were such a strange choice in my opinion, but they seem to be working just fine. Nice Ice Path out there, just catches out Bone 7, just enough time for the Centaur to get in. Oh, beautiful Burrow Strike there from Yol. Manages to finish off the Clockwork in addition to catching two other heroes. Ice Path just missing Eternal Envy. Highlight Eye, Leech Seeding on the Sand King. Oh, we are going to get an Epicenter, or we almost were, but Lucent Beam interrupts. They are going to manage to finish off the tree though. Smoke used to evade the tower shot there. Yol going to survive. That was incredibly close, but beautiful play by Rox.Kis. I can't tell who's going to win this match. It keeps going back and forth. Quick look at the XP graph. Kind of supports that view. Does look like C9 are pulling ahead in terms of XP. Rox.Kis ever so slightly ahead in terms of gold. Wow, this is madness.
But we see the curves. They're going up and down in both directions. So so far it's been an exciting, intense game.
I just gotta wonder, I mean, once the Luna comes online, the Tinker, I kind of feel won't be too necessary in the fights. I feel C9 will be able to take the fights 4 on 5, at least some of the time, and then that just gives Tinker so much space to just be pushing towers all over the map, and I'm not sure that Cloud9 are gonna, Rox.Kis are gonna be able to keep up with that.
I think with the Pipe of Insight, yeah, which is now completed on the Centaur, that's gonna give them a lot of team fight ability to kind of deter from that Luna ult. Having said that, you are right, Luna has already grabbed her BKB, so she's going to be immune to a lot of the abilities, a lot of the stuns that are going to be thrown at her. So we'll see who wins in this battle. Will it be the magic damage or the magic immunity?
I gotta say, I think it's going to be magic immunity. I can't see much stopping this Luna now, especially with living armor on her. I mean, just what do you do? What do you do? I also think Nature's Prophet isn't going to be able to keep up against this Tinker. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, a big
Luna
part
v
of it
Centaur,
is
Tinker v Nature's Prophet.
Nature's Prophet, exactly. And I think both of those heroes, in terms of Tinker and Nature's Prophet, they will find it difficult to push the high ground. So even if all tier 2s goes down on both sides of the map, it's going to be who can push the high ground better. And I see Cloud9 to have the better push potential in terms of the high ground, especially with the clock, especially with the Luna as well.
They are doing a nice smoke gank down into the Radiant jungle right now. It's almost sad. If they'd gone the other way, they could have had a 3-on-4 fight and maybe taken out that Centaur. They might catch out the Nature's Prophet if they think to go and check the Ancients, but I'm not sure they're going to risk that. Smoke
I think they might
worn
run
off.
into each other now.
Lots of pings coming out. We do have an Observer Ward down in the Radiant Jungle there, which is going to help them spot them out. Eternal Envy getting close enough now to land a beautiful Lucent Beam, which lines us up with a hook shot. There's the BKB. Possibly popped a little bit early, but then again, possibly not, as Yol comes in beautifully from behind with an epicenter that Eternal Envy is able to just completely ignore. Gonna TP out here as well. No, not beautiful ice path from Rox.Kis. Going to interrupt that, and that'll be a dead Luna. That did not go the way C9 hoped. I guess they did manage to take out the Centaur, but wow. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I did not expect that. They were caught completely out of position. They were separated as well. The Triad was in a completely different area towards the Luna. I don't know, it might have been miscommunication there. But it kind of allowed Rox.Kis to take that tower.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a question of Bone 7 and Eternal Envy had a really good way. They had a really good catch out of the Centaur, and, you know, good for them. They decided to call it. Yeah, let's go, let's try and take him. Unfortunately, it did turn into a 4v5 fight where they weren't in the best of positions, and it cost them. It cost them bad.
Yeah, and it's going to cost them more and more, especially with the team fight potential that Rox.Kis has with Epicenter, as we've seen the disruption being played a couple times here to kind of stop the Luna from chasing people or to help save against the Clockwork ult. And we saw the Ice Path as well try to help save Centaur from the Clockwork cogs as well, and that has worked quite effectively so far in this game.
So, who's your favourites at this stage?
At this stage, I'm gonna go with Rox.Kis. My heart was with them from the start. They have good team fight potential. They've done very well in terms of taking advantage of the lanes of farming their jungle. And if they continue with that, hopefully they will win the game. Having said that, I am very aware of how quickly Luna can get out of control.
I mean, and the same with Tinker. I mean, I kind of agree with you. I was casting a game earlier this morning where we had Tinker on one team. They were something like 20-3 ahead. And I was like, if Tinker was on the other team, I wouldn't rule them out, because Tinker can do weird things even from miles behind. He plays a whole different style of Dota. But here we're seeing the Tinker, you know, they're not that far behind. 20 for 13. And that's going up against a team that is certainly better than them in the early game, without a doubt. Like, Rox.Kis have the early game draft by a mile. If they didn't win the early game, we would be really surprised and horrified.
Yeah, I mean, and he has Tinker already has his sheepstick at the moment, so that will help massively in kind of helping tie down the Centaur.
We are going to get a Centaur blink in. Sing Sing wants to help try and catch people out.
We have a second sheepstick.
On the, on who?
I think this is going to be Battle of the Sheeps.
I thought it was Battle of the Magic Immunities.
Yeah, but there are also sheepsticks coming out as well, so we'll get to see a bit of that as well.
Don't forget Battle of the Blinks. And here we go, that we are going to have an initiation, as kind of everybody initiates on everybody else at the same time. Solo manages to freeze a Luna in place with Ice Path, which is going to disrupt her coming in to help with Clockwork. Clockwork, though, does manage to finish off Goblak on the Shadow Demon very nicely, totally solo. But I gotta say, you got Sing Sing and Eternal Envy here, chasing down a Jakiro. Meanwhile, there's a whole other team fight going on. That's not the way you really want to arrange it. The Sand King stun does miss. The Centaur stomp manages to hit both, including the Luna. She's going to pop her BKB and ultimate. Not entirely sure that was ever going to win her too much, though. We do now have Sing Sing. Wants to be catching out this this Centaur, but he's picked up a haste rune and just can immediately go in it. Seedoy TPing in, trying to catch up. Tinker, not going to happen. And yeah, another very messy fight. 3 for 4. But again, I think that one did go in Rox.Kis' favour.
Yeah, and we saw what the pipe did in that team fight. Luna landed her ult and that did like almost absolutely no damage. to the centaur.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a bit of a mistake to use the ult there anyway, just on the basis that you weren't going to get away, and now she doesn't have it for another, what, 80 seconds after she comes back, and that's kind of going to hurt a little bit, but, you know, whatever, it's done. She still has the best heavy carry potential in the game, in my opinion, so we just have to make sure that she can capitalize on that.
Yeah, but like you are right, and I agree with you. But that BKB is down to 7 seconds now.
That's gonna hurt.
Soon enough, yeah, soon enough that BKB will become what 4 seconds basically, and at that stage, it will give enough time for Rox.Kis. I mean, they have so many stuns, they have so many disruptions, they have so much lockdown on their side at the moment that a 4-second BKB will do absolutely nothing against them.
Yeah. And it looks like we might have a smoke gank coming out from Rox.Kis. I mean, they did have Tinker farming their own jungle. I'm wondering whether they might be planning on, might have been hoping to go in and interrupt that. As it is, they're pinging where he was. He is no longer there, friends. He is miles away. And that's kind of unfortunate. This is a huge amount of time that they're wasting here on 3 of their main heroes.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Tinker is one of those heroes which is it's literally impossible to chase him down around the map, because he'll just use his boost of travel to get back to base any given second.
Yeah, and it's going to be very, very difficult for them. Nature's Prophet, with, you know, if Nature's Prophet was a perfect mind reader, that would be a really good way to counter Tinker. Unfortunately, nobody's a mind reader. Mind readers don't exist, and this might be a little bit tricky for them.
And we're seeing that. I mean, the Tinker, we just saw him TP top and move around, and he's literally farming everything. He's farming the lanes, farming the jungle, TPing back to base, and yeah, both jungles, and that is just amazing. And now he's just going to do the same thing. He's going to go bot, farm it, farm the jungle, and then TP back to base, and that is like leaving nowhere for anyone else to farm at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have Roshan coming back up as well. Fingers crossed somebody's going to notice that soon, and we'll get a nice juicy fight. Wondering if Bone 7 might just toss a flare in now. Nope, possibly not. Yol, coming out of his lurking concealment to get back towards pushing the bot lane, is going to force out the Tinker rotation, which might even have been what they were looking for. Alright, Rox.Kis have confirmed that Roshan's alive. They now know it. Don't think Cloud9 know it yet. Bone 7, I haven't seen him toss a flare in there.
Yeah, it's a question of, shall we fight this? Shall we take the mid tower, or shall we go into Rosh?
I mean, it's a tough call to make, but I'm thinking they kind of can't go into Rosh. Yep,
I think you need to secure that space. Securing...
Here we go, C9 on the move. We've had the... Oh, mouse, what are you doing to me, mouse? There we go. We've had everything popped here. We've had March of the Machines going down. Eclipse has just gone down. There comes the Warlock ult. Does manage to catch up Godblack and Solo. The Demon now chasing down Shakiro. Not going to be able to come out and catch him. Clockwork, the only person to go down so far. Rox.Kis, 633, does manage to get sheeped, but we've got an excellent stun combo coming down on Sing Sing. That's the Tinker down for 68 seconds. That is going to be huge. Seedoy now desperate to catch out Aoi 2000. Gonna succeed. And that's 3 down. 3 down for Rox.Kis. They are going to be laughing at this.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So I suppose that was what they needed to do. It wasn't go for Roche, it wasn't go for the mid tower. It was just wait and bait and wait for Cloud9 to try and come at them.
Dire's middle tower has
that was
yeah, and I mean...
executed.
Yeah, that Luna ult was completely wasted there, which was completely unfortunate for Cloud9. But I mean, even look at the items that Rox.Kis are picking up at the moment. I mean, Nature's Prophet already has a Mjolnir on him, so he'll be doing a huge amounts of damage as well. He has a sheep stick with him as well, so that's a nice disabling items, and his Necrobics, which is a great pushing item. and you know this Roshan is going to go down completely uncontested.
Well, Bone 7
Roshan
looking to
has
come
been
in.
killed by the Radiant.
I think that might have been a little bit over aggressive there, bro. Yeah, just gets absolutely nuked down. That would have been an amazing steal if he'd got it, but I'm not entirely sure how he expected to. Am I missing something here? I mean, or was that just insane?
Yeah, he shouldn't have gone in. I think he kind of realised it was about to go down. He was trying to steal it, but that was just bad advice. Why would you try to steal the Aegis when you're alone against a team of 5 and they all have disables on them? It's just not going to work in your favour at all.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, like, if he thought he was gonna, maybe he was just trying to get the last hit on Roche and get that gold for everybody on the team. That maybe would be a justifiable reason. Pylai Dai currently scouting out Yol up in the Dire jungle. Yol just gonna blink away though, and Pylai Dai left to kind of mope back to being somewhere useful.
I think
he's
a
kind
big
of just a
part of it
mobile
as well.
ward at the moment. That's not a good look.
The thing is Pylai Dai has some amazing team fight potential with his overgrowth. And we saw how that could have happened in the very early stages of the game, but we haven't seen him land one good ult. And if he manages to do that against Rox.Kis, that is a team fight that Cloud9 will definitely win, and very, very easily, if he manages to land overgrowth on 3 or 4 heroes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've got such good setup for it. They've got Eclipse coming out for the DPS, but they've got that. They've got the Warlock ult. They've got March the Machines. They've got Tinker to cogs anyone. They've got a huge amount of potential to be doing damage in a big AoE, but it just doesn't seem to be happening much.
And the really great thing about March of the Machines against a team made up of people like Centaur and made up of people like Sand King is that once you land March of the Machines, all blinks are going to go on cooldown on the other team.
Yeah.
Which creates some really great space for your team to be the initiators to take the team fight to them.
Being attacked.
Looks like that's going to be the top tier 2 going down there. Rox.Kis actually looking to just keep pushing. They might be feeling like they could at least get some damage down on the racks here, and I think they might be right.
That Centaur with the heart at the moment, he's incredibly hard to kill.
That he is.
Dire has fortified its structures.
I mean, you can see he's just standing there taking damage from the tower and with the shield from the Mjolnir on him, and he's just completely ignoring it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good way to do it actually, because the return passive on Centaur does full damage to towers, so it's a great way to bring them down even faster to make sure that Centaur's the one to tank it. If he's got the health, and you're right, that heart is just making him practically indestructible. March the Machines coming down twice. Tinker straight back in, ready to do it again. There's the rearm. There's the initiation from Bone 7. I don't know if they're going to have enough damage for this though, because they've also got the Sand King coming in, Epicenter going off on Luna and on Tinker. She pops Eclipse. It might just be enough damage for the Centaur with the Tinker there to back up, but Tinker TP's out and Luna gets double-edged. That's not a good look. That's not a good look for a Centaur there. The summon does manage to get the last hit on him. He goes down, but he of course had the Aegis after that. Kind of nasty Aegis fight. I mean, ouch, right? Just ouch. Sand King for Luna, I get it, but that's a horrific trade. That's really, really nasty, and they managed to take down the tier 3 as well.
Yeah, again, I mean, Cloud9 are being caught separated, are being caught out of position. I mean, we saw the potential of lockdown that they had, especially with March of the Machines. Centaur couldn't blink anywhere, couldn't do much. I mean, he is an incredible tank with 3,000 health, but they can take him down. They just haven't been as smooth in their team fight, haven't been as organized as they should be. I mean, we saw the Warlock ult could land on one side, but the Luna was in a completely different area of that team fight.
And I mean, I could have forgiven it there. I mean, obviously the Sand King was ready to blink in and stun because he had that, well, literally going in immediately after Clockwork initiated. But it was Clockwork who initially started off that fight. It wasn't Rox.Kis at all. So Luna really should have been ready there. Eternal Envy should have been I don't know, communicating with the team a little bit more or something, so that they were in a position to take advantage of what I think was actually a very, very nice hook.
Yeah, and I mean, I will say this again. Pylai has the potential to disable the other team completely. He's just not in the right position at all in these situations to help the Luna out, and it's kind of costing Cloud9 massively at the moment.
So I mean, in that last team fight, if it had gone from the hook in, then you get the cogs, then maybe Warlock ult, since that'll persist for a little bit longer with the Radiance burn, and then just as they're about to finally get free of all of that, then you do the tree ult. That would have been an easy kill. As it is, so we got 633 blinks into Bone 7, gets him down. We've also got Macro Pyre coming out, Nature's Prophet TPing in, and that's Clockwork out, and that's horrific, I think, for C9. He was kind of their main initiation, and a fair part of that counter push as well.
Yeah, I mean, Rox.Kis at the moment have huge amounts of map control, and we see Cloud9 being pushed back completely at the moment.
Pipe is popped. They're looking to get down another tier 3 rather than just try and rush the barracks on the top lane. I think that might be wise. They're ready here. The top lane's actually pushed all the way back. Rox.Kis, 633 again, tanking up all of the tower damage. Here comes the ult from Pylai. Disruption comes out on the Centaur though, so it's not going to be enough to get any kills. We've had BKBs popped on all of the C9 carries. It really is now or never for them. Bone 7 does manage to take out the Jakiro, but then dies in exchange to the epicenter of Sand King. Tinker falling now to Centaur. Luna though, Eternal Envy still on basically full health, gets sheeped. Desperate to go in. There's the stun, but just not enough tank. Not feeling confident enough to go in. And there we have the Centaur, comes in, blinks, stomps, double edge. Is there going to be enough damage? Is it? Yes, there is. That was huge. 4 for 2 there, and it's only the supports that go down on the Rox.Kis side. Is this GG, Meta?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, with 2 racks down, it's going to be very, very... I mean, they do have the Tinker, they do have the Luna, which are amazing at split push. And we see the Clockworks picking up a Maelstrom, that's going to be built into Mjolnir as well. So, if it's a question of defending against mega creeps, Cloud9 do have that potential. Having said that, it will only get harder and harder and harder for them.
I mean, we've got Tinker and Warlock really trying to fight the Rox.Kis side off now. They didn't manage to save the racks though. So really not a huge amount gained.
Yeah. I think a big part of it as well, I mean, especially with the Mjolnir buff that they've managed to do quite recently, it's just become quite OP at the moment.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, we've got Tinker now looking to push out the bot lane, but as soon as he comes in vision of these Radiant creeps, we're going to have Nature's Prophet and Jakiro ready to jump him, but he's just going to get straight out. Manages to take out an entire creep wave with March of Machines. It's certainly a very good pushing ability, no doubt about that.
Yeah, I mean, they do have, as I mentioned, I mean, you saw a very, very long siege on the high ground before anything was done. But then again, the Centaur is someone, especially if you build a heart on him, is someone who can stand and siege things for a very, very long time, because he is one of the greatest tanks in the game.
Yeah. And I mean, here's the thing, you know, he's currently doing 184 damage just base. He's just bottled a double damage rune. I really like this use of the, you know, keeping the bottle on you, waiting until late game where you know, double damage is actually ridiculously significant as opposed to just being a very good rune.
Yeah, and at the moment he has AC, heart, pipe. I mean, what more could you put?
He doesn't have a BKB. Like, that's what I'm missing a little bit. If he were to sell the... I do think there's a lot of magic damage coming out. The only time he's ever really in danger is when he gets stun locked. All of these marching machines.
See, I mean, like,
here.
this is great. He's just standing in front of his team, stopping anyone from being attacked.
Yeah, and we do have the Warlock drop though. There was a cogs into apparently nothing. I think it might be Sand King who blinked out. We now have Eternal Envy. Pops the Eclipse. This might be what they need, but it's not. As Stampede goes down, the Hoof Stomp finishes off Eternal Envy. Immediate buyback from the Luna though. Wants to come in. Unfortunately, just getting double edged. This Centaur still has double damage now. Misses with the Stomp, but manages to take out Luna and Pylai. This is not Cloud9's game so far. Rox.Kis G says Eternal Envy. I assume that's GG, not just game.
Yeah,
good.
That is definitely GG. I mean,
we're still getting the announcements. That was huge. That was absolutely huge.
Yeah.
Wow.
That Centaur is just OP at the moment.
Yeah, really powerful. Excellent job from Rox.Kis picking and using an early game team. We got to get into the next lobby, but any last thoughts, Meta?
Well, hopefully the next match will be exciting. I hope Cloud9 will win it, so we'll have more and more games, basically.
Exactly. Alright, we'll see anybody who's tuning in soon. Please stay tuned for the next few matches. Ciao.